No, we competed. You know, Michigan State's obviously great basketball team, and I'm really proud of our players' efforts and showing their resiliency and making a nice comeback and putting themselves in a position to win. And so disappointed, obviously, that we lost. I thought we beat ourselves in some ways, and you know, just weren't able to capitalize on some of the great defensive stops that we had. And but we're young and we're getting better. We saw a lot of youth out there playing for Panther basketball, and this is the kind of experience that's really going to go a long way for us.
Can you first talk a little bit about how the zone defense seemed to affect Michigan State and took them out of a rhythm? And also, you guys cut it to 2 there at the end, and then they just kind of turned on the Jets a little bit. Talk about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was the defensive game plan. I mean, just we knew athletically it was going to be really hard to match up with them, and we just wanted to try and really force them into taking tougher shots. And we did a nice job on Keene too. I think she just, you know, they run a lot of sets in their offense and getting their, you know, some of their top players in positions where they can be really successful. And we just wanted to, you know, we felt like a zone was our best option, and it did. It worked really well. Got our hands on a lot, and really disrupted them, and you know, kept them to a low percentage, and you know, so I'm really proud of our players of, you know, believing in the game plan and executing it.
Can you talk a little bit about Sammy? Obviously, homecoming for her is a nice atmosphere, good crowd, and talk about what she's meant so far in her first 2 years as a player for you and your program.
You know, Sammy is just, you know, whenever we look for players in our program, you know, you look for talent and skills and abilities, but more importantly, you look for intangibles, and that's what Sammy brings, is just a great work ethic, you know, desire to be the best that she can be. She never gives up on things. You know, she makes plays with her hustle and her determination. You know, a great team player, you know, very unselfish, you know, and she just keeps getting better. So, you know, she's just a pleasure to have on the court, and that was one of the reasons why we wanted to get Michigan State on our schedule, so we could get Sammy back home playing in front of her family and friends.
Sammy, this is for you. Can you talk a little bit about what that was like to step back on Breslin again for the first time in a while, and the reception you got, and also kind of talk a little bit about what it was like playing against Clarissa for once?
Yeah, the first time we were here, Clarissa was on my team again for the high school, and so it was awesome to come back, get a chance and an opportunity to come back into my hometown and play a ranked team, Big Ten team. And also it was cool that I finally knew a couple people on the other team, especially Clarissa and all that. So it was an opportunity. Obviously, we're very disappointed in how the result that came, but you know, it was exciting. We cut it to 2, and then we just didn't take care of it. So.
He just keeps grabbing it. You should just keep the microphone.
Can you talk a little about Clarissa's game and what she brings to Michigan State's team and what she did tonight? And is she a difficult matchup now that you get a chance to be on the opposing side with her?
Yeah, she was 3 for 6, Coach said, but yeah, she was definitely a really good spark off their bench. She was a driver, and she really helped them pick it up and get some spark for them.
Last year, I mean, did you get to follow along with how East Lansing did at all?
Yes, I actually, I was hoping to make it to a varsity game to just support my old team and stuff, and I got to make it to the final game, and it was awesome to see them take care of business and win that state championship.
Especially after the way things ended for you guys the year before, and it had been a special feeling and probably a weird feeling, I bet, as well, to kind of almost be an outsider, but still have so many connections to that team.
Yeah, I know the program was really hungry after we lost. And the program was really hungry, and they knew they had the opportunity and the players, and they just took care of it the past year. So I'm proud of them.
Can you talk a little about your season thus far? Obviously, you started every game, had a big game against Oklahoma to start the year. I mean, are you rounding into form, you think, as a college player?
I'm just trying to work as hard as I can, and obviously I have a lot of areas to improve on, just like any other player, and just got to focus on the team play and then get some wins under our belt.
What specific areas do you think are right now your biggest areas to work on?
Mine personally?
Yes.
Just, being more aggressive offensively, getting more offensive boards, and just probably my just overall game, offense and stuff. So.
Sandy, you talked a little about her individual skill set. I mean, you talked about her intangibles of her, but Sami obviously has a lot of athleticism and does a lot of different things that can make her so intangible.
Right. A lot of times we ask Sami to take the toughest defensive assignment. We put her on their best player, and she expends a lot of energy doing that. And sometimes I think that affects her game a little bit. But Sami is just learning to play on the perimeter more. I think she was a little bit everywhere on her high school team.
Center.
She was the center, and we're using her more out on the perimeter, and facing the basket, passing, she's got a great jump shot. I think she needs to look for it a little more, and we got to look for her too a little bit more. But she just, the thing about Sami is she, like I had said before, she wants to get better, and she's always asking, what more can I do? And we just know, as in time, that will happen.
Sami, a little bit about the actual emotion. When you heard your name, when you heard the crowd, what was that feeling like? What was it like right after the ball jump? You're back.
Yeah, obviously there were a lot of East Lansing kids here supporting both Clarissa and I, and it was just great to hear the little chants like "Go Sami" or "Go K-Bell," knowing that we have all that support that was here today. It was really nice.
And that's what it's all about. Is we had a youth team in our locker room before the game, and to see a whole section full of youth. They're their role models. They followed them in high school, and now they get to actually see them play at the collegiate level. What a great vision for them, and something that they can inspire and work towards. So, it's great that we had the opportunity to bring Sami home, and we'll be back her senior year. Michigan State will come to us next year, and then we'll return the trip. So, we'll be, I'm sure, talking to you, Sami, senior year too.